Good morning, and welcome to another nerve-wracking version of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. Now here's your nefarious and negligible host, Voice of Doom. Good morning. Alright, I've been meaning to do diatribes, and I've been putting it off because I just haven't had the energy to do what I wanted to do, so I've let a lot of news pass by and not commented on it, so I'm going to try to fit everything into this one, so it should go by really fast. First, the microcosm. I'm kind of in a position of existential crisis of my own making, and I am torn on what my course of action should be vis-a-vis being a prophet, because a prophet is not welcome in his own land, and I just have a feeling that I'm gonna get blamed for what's about to happen to what used to be this country, because I've been prognosticating doom, and you know how it is. You don't want to be someone who says, "I told you so," because then people turn on you and say, "You're acting like you want it to happen. Oh, you're so happy that we're all going down, that we're all sinking into the abyss." Which I, have seen over and over again. I mean, it sounds like you're gloating when all hell's breaking loose. But my universe, the immediate surrounding, is dying. And so I'm wondering how long I have to keep suffering the slings and arrows, 1,000 cuts that flesh is heir to. I'm not feeling sorry for myself. I'm actually berating myself because I should have done more. And I have been very fortunate, and the universe has given me every break, and I always scuttle it. I sabotage myself. So, my best friend was put into hospice 2 days ago, and it started with, I don't want to get into details because it's not my place to say, but I will say that I'm suspicious of the pharmaceutical industry and of the medical industrial complex. So I know how lucky I am, and I've effed it up. I should have done more. I'm walking along healthy, and I abuse my body deliberately. I have all the time in the world, and I waste it watching YouTube. Just to do a few things that might be productive, but it's just an existential crisis of its highest form, because it involves life and death, and what dreams may come if I shuffle off this mortal coil. Anyway, I don't want to get in more into that. Let's talk about politics, because we got 2 days. It's Sunday. 2 more days. And everybody knows that it's going to go bad one way or the other, no matter what happens. There's no bright spot. There's no upside, because half the country's going to be pissed no matter what happens. There's already been rampant cheating throughout the electoral system. I disagree with this states' rights in voting procedures when it comes to federal positions. It should all be uniform, and it could be very easy, but they don't want it to be. They don't want it to be easy at all. They want it to be as convoluted and confusing as possible so they can cheat. And obviously, if we don't get an EMP in the next day or two, there's going to be an election on November 5th. And Gargoyle could win, because they'll cheat with impunity. They'll cheat right in front of your face and say, I dare you to say anything about it, because there's still people from January 6th rotting. That's how we libs do it. We don't pussyfoot around. I dare you to say I cheated. Go ahead. That's how it is right now. Now let's just say that the greatest event in the history of mankind after the advent of Jesus Christ, Orangey wins. Everybody knows what's going to happen. Watch Glenn Beck. Go on his channel and see what he says about what's going to happen. They're already planning riots. Already. And I'm talking about the powers that be. I'm talking about the Antifa useful idiots that will be consumed in the end. They're too stupid to know history. The foot soldiers always get purged. Well, let's go on. Garbage wars. Okay. Did I talk about... Yeah. Alright. I talked about the guy making a garbage joke, which he wasn't, which the idiot media morons, he's calling all Puerto Ricans garbage. No, he did not. He was actually bringing to attention a problem. So stupid. I mean, this whole planet is rife with absolute idiocy. If I say, for example, oh, we got to do something about the rampant crime in the south side of Chicago. We got to do something. It's rife with crime. Oh, you're a racist. How dare you say that our area is rife with crime, you racist? All right, let's not do anything about it then. Keep killing each other. Oh, you're a racist. You can't win. You draw attention to a problem and you're called a racist. We're not going to make it. So obvious. That's why I'm thinking about leaving early, but my moral compass says no. Keep on keeping on. But it's really stupid when you consider that the guy was actually making a valid point and he's vilified and reviled as a racist. But I will say that I have to walk back something I said on the last one about me being a better advisor to Orangey than these guys they have for MSG. The garbage thing was brilliant, and I would have come up with it eventually, but I wouldn't have come up with it as fast. Let's run a garbage truck and you dress up as a garbage man. I mean, come on. There's something that would win an election in a landslide in previous years. But they hate him so that no matter what he does, it's bad. I'm surprised they didn't say that he was making fun of garbage men. But it was brilliant, and he took a problem and made it into a huge asset. So the guy's, I don't know, maybe he has super powers. But, or maybe he's the Antichrist. I don't know. All I know is it was brilliant. Now, from going to brilliant, you have to have hyperbole, which the liberal idiots will run with. Orangey's making a valid point. If the politicians and the high mucky mucks and the warmongers had to go to war and had to face withering fire, they'd think twice before starting idiot police actions. Now you could say it like that, and it'd be hard to kind of, argue with or find fodder. But no, Orangey has to say, well, if she had 7 guns trained on her face, she wouldn't. Orangey orders execution of his political opponents. He's going to line us all up and shoot us. That's why we're doomed. Idiocy prevails to an extreme degree. And I don't see much hope. I see a few smart people. Elon Musk, who probably has his fallout shelter ready to go. And Candace Owens, who I don't know if she has a fallout shelter, but she should if she has money. Smart people are out there, but there's too few and far between. Now, for a little bit of comedic relief, I had a funny idea that the police in D.C. would be called to a domestic disturbance at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. They'd be forced to enforce the laws of that particular area that are probably very, very, very draconian when it comes to domestic violence. And go to the White House and say, we hear a lot of yelling and screaming and threatening, and we got a call about some violence. And come to see that Rock'em Sock'em Emhofer is, punched the hell out of Dr. Jill when she insulted him. And Petri dish was being throttled by a gargoyle, which is a very real scenario. I could imagine if you got the 4 of them together, there would be a fracas. But I think it'd be funny. There's a domestic disturbance at the White House, get out there right away. Get like 50 police cars, just like at Mar-a-Lago, and drag them all out and take Petri dish out in a gurney, handcuffed to the gurney, taken to the hospital, and the rest of them are taken off to jail to spend the night for domestic. That'd be hilarious. Especially if it happened on the day of the election. But that's just a scenario that I think would be kind of delicious. Yeah, I could have gone longer, but I don't have much more to say, do I? 2 more days. Oh, I just watched Cash Jordan. I wish everybody would watch this Cash Jordan guy, because if they saw what's happening with retail, people would be scared. And it's all part of a plan. I can see it now. It's so obvious. I'm watching these stores, Walgreens closing, all these convenience stores closing, especially in the inner cities. And it's also obvious. They're consolidating. The powers that be, Bezos, Amazon, whoever, they're consolidating their wealth. They're going to take everything and spend it as quickly as they can. If you can't go to the store, you go to Amazon. Everybody's going to buy from Amazon. Amazon is going to be where you get all your stuff. It doesn't matter if they're different brands. It's one central location. Money piling into one central guy. Takes self-same money, buys land, buys fallout shelters, buys a new TV for his fallout shelter, buys a nursery, a farm, thousands of acres of farm. And that's the way it is. Everything's bought from Amazon. You don't need stores. Just plan ahead. And Amazon will have the drones flying around stuff in the cities, and that's how life will be. But there will be mostly people crawling around from radiation poisoning, so we'll see how much they really want to buy. So that's that. I think I'll call it a day, and have a good Sunday. L'chaim.